Good afternoon. This is Victor Jimenez with Sewerline Check Professionals. I'm back here at 3310 Coy Drive in Sherman Oaks, and I'm in the process of performing a video examination of the main sewer line for Garrett Bell. Now, this is a follow-up examination. I came out here a few days ago. We only got about 50 feet into the line due to some root intrusions. The line was actually backing up and was clogged. So they had somebody come out here and attempt to clean the line. It looks like it was kind of a partially done job. There are still sections which have some pretty heavy root intrusion in it, but I at least was able to get through the previously blocked section. And we're here at 65 feet just at this connection to public sewer. Now, pulling away from public sewer, we are in a 6-inch diameter of vitrified clay piping. The vitrified clay is a very common material for main sewer lines. However, it is susceptible to damage during earthquakes and seismic activity, and it also has a tendency to let in roots at the joint areas. Now, I mentioned earlier that I said it was attempted that this was being cleaned out. There are still sections which there's some roots still left in here. It appears probably a snaking method was done. Hydrojet cleanings would clear out this kind of debris from the line. But for the purposes of the examination, we were able to actually get through the section that was previously pretty heavily root intruded. So at this point, we're basically still under the sidewalk. The line runs from the main sewer line clean out just to the right of the front door, and a diagonal path towards the gate, at which point it makes a dive underground and then turns out to connect up with the city sewer in the middle of the street. Alright, now, this right here was the section that we had previously been unable to get through because of the root intrusions. So there are still root intrusions coming from the top of the pipe, but we can see here with the cleanings that they did do that the bottom of the pipe is broken. I've gone ahead and located this section out. It's located at a depth of about 8.5 feet deep, and this break in the pipe will need to get repaired. It's just basically at the bottom of the drop, right at the, it's still on property line. It's not under the sidewalk or the street, but it's just underneath that section. So here we're basically going to be pulling away from this this vertical drop here, and now we're at the top of that drop. So still coming back, we're still in the section of vitrified clay. This section looks to be in acceptable condition. Didn't see really anything in the way of any breaks or cracks. Some minor root intrusions, but again, those are pretty common at the joint areas. So really the concern is that break there next to that, next to the gate. And there's one other component which you were able to kind of see a little bit more, and I'll cover that as we're coming towards the end of the inspection, because that's where the section is located. Now this is the section which I was referring to. So here's a pretty good shot of this. What we are looking at is a component known as a backwater valve. A backwater valve is essentially a component where it's installed in houses where the public sewer manhole is basically at a higher depth than any fixture in the house, be that a sink, a shower, a tub, what have you, but where you have the situation where that one of those fixtures is at a lower depth than the connection at the public sewer, backwater valve is installed. This is installed in the event that, for whatever reason, public sewer would start backing up, and because one of those fixtures is at a lower grade, if you don't have this insulation, then you have a likelihood of the backup from public sewer actually starting to back up into the property. So the backwater valve is essentially a valve which will open when water is coming out of the pipe, heading towards public sewer, but that upon water coming from the opposite direction, the valve would close and would stop that system from occurring. Now, I can't say for sure whether this is absolutely necessary. It appears that it is a candidate for that. There are sections of the house which are likely at a lower grade. Now, the issue with this section is twofold. One, for a proper backwater valve to be installed, it needs to be accessible, meaning you need to be able to access the actual valve itself to either open it or close it, repair, what have you. So this section is pretty close to the actual cleanout. It's only about 6 inches away. But the problems with this are twofold. One, it appears that the actual valve itself has rotted away from the hinges, and you can kind of see it there on the right-hand side of the screen. That odd-shaped kind of circular disc is actually the valve itself, which has fallen out from the hole, which would have been right where the camera's looking right now. The other issue with this is that it is a cast iron backwater valve. The issue with that is just that the cast iron typically only has a service life of about 70 to 80 years, and over time will actually disintegrate and essentially fail. This is kind of the beginning stages of that, where you can kind of see the bottom of this box backwater valve has started to rot away. The actual valve itself has come unhinged. So this is not a properly working backwater valve, and this is something that we would also recommend get dug up and repaired. As I said earlier, I can't be certain whether this house is a necessity for the house, but it certainly is a candidate that should be looked at by the sewer contractor performing the work. So that would be another section. This section is at a depth of about 2 feet deep. It's located basically just to the left of this cleanout. So I'm going to be exiting, and then I'll give you a shot of where the different situations are, kind of orient you in the video. I'm just going to go ahead and take a photograph really quickly of the cleanout, so that can be included in the report. This is our main sewer line cleanout. So here, the front door is just to the left of us. The backwater valve would be located basically right where this square is, approximately. And not entirely clear there, but right at the gate you see a small black object. That's actually my locator equipment, and it's sitting right on top of the point on the line that it is broken. So that's the section about 8.5 feet deep that needs to get repaired. Okay, and with that, I'm going to be wrapping up the video portion of the examination for today. Once again, this is Victor Jimenez with Sewerline Check Professionals. Thank you very much, and have a pleasant day.